Thank you so much, Ben, for opening up our 89th Prozdor commencement graduation ceremony for us. So first of all, I just want to say what a joy it is to see the faces of so many seniors here. It has been many years. Some of you I met way back in my core days. And we're so glad to have you here this morning. So welcome to both all of our seniors and of course to the many friends and families and teachers who are here attending this webinar. You made it to this moment. It's been a journey, and this spring has certainly come with its own challenges, and we made it. For some of you, this journey began many years ago, for others more recently. But for all of you, Prozdor graduation marks a great accomplishment and an important step on your Jewish journey. This morning, we, your teachers, families, and friends, are here to celebrate the culmination of this time of study and service at Hebrew College. Just as we finish reading the Torah each year on Simchat Torah and in the same breath begin again, today is both an ending, but it's also a beginning. The learning, challenges, friendships, and adventures you have encountered in your time at Prozdor and at JTFGB will be with you always. And it feels particularly appropriate to be celebrating you and welcoming you into this fold of many generations of Prozdor graduates now this week, because today begins the new Hebrew month of Sivan, which is a month of celebrating spring and harvest and new possibilities on the horizon. And in just a few days, we will time travel together as a people to that mythic moment when we stood at Mount Sinai to receive the Torah, and for some of us, ate J.P. Lick's ice cream at midnight. The Torah makes clear that it wasn't just Moses, it was the entire Jewish people across time that felt the earth tremble at Sinai. Perhaps Mount Sinai was in fact our first virtual gathering together, a certain flattening of the curve of space and time so that we could be together at the foot of the mountain. But this time for this cosmic Sinai webinar of ours, you don't need a Google Doc to keep track of all the Zoom links. No, you already have these links. You all are about to become Prozdor graduates. This is a link to your people, to yourself, to your ancestors, and to those who will call you ancestors. This year, we know it is hard not to be together in person. And many of us are missing real hugs with friends and the presence of loved ones. And of course, we pray for the health of our whole community and for a time soon when we'll cross the threshold safely and can be together again in person, when all of you can start your gap years or college experiences together in person on campus. And we do hope that you will come back and visit when that's possible. But we also know that, like at Sinai, we're inextricably linked. Each of your Zoom windows, and actually I'm just gonna turn it for a moment back to Mosaic, because I think there's something really kind of magical about seeing all of your faces. Sorry, hold on one moment. Each of you reveals in your own little Zoom window a powerfully diverse mosaic of interests, beliefs, and communities. You represent 13 different high schools and 12 different congregations from across the region in a class of only 17 students. You are connected. You are connected by years of conversations, by laughter, by challenges, by growth, and of course, by bagels. And you now are also connected to over 5,000 proud Prozdor graduates of Hebrew College, all over the world in a bond across time. I know that I speak for your teachers, your families, and all of us here at Hebrew College when I say we are so proud of you. In these tumultuous times, you have the links you need, and we are right here with you. The world and the Jewish people need you now more than ever. So go for it, Mazel Tov, and please stay in touch. So I'm going to turn it over now to Rabbi Sharon Cohen-Anisfeld, the president of Hebrew College.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. Yes, thumbs up. Great. It's so wonderful to see everyone, and I'm really just delighted to be here to add my voice to Rabbi Laura's and add my presence to all of your teachers to wish you Mazel Tov on reaching this milestone in your personal journey, in your Jewish journey, in your journey at Hebrew College. Last year, I actually stood at the Prozdor graduation here, I remember, just about a year ago, and I spoke about some of the profound ways in which the world had changed in the nearly 100 years since Prozdor first opened its doors. I really feel that I'm standing here this year, today, awed at the ways in which the world has changed just in the last 100 days. You are finishing high school and finishing Prozdor in such a tumultuous time. And we don't know, of course, what the future will bring, but we know the world will be changed by what we're going through now. And we are so fortified and inspired knowing that each of you will do your part to make sure that it's changed as much as possible for the better. Especially because we were sad not to be able to celebrate with you physically in person this year. Rabbi Laura and I wanted to get each of you some kind of physical gift that you could carry with you. Something to express our pride in you, in all that you've accomplished and in who you are becoming. And something to send you on your way with blessings and best wishes from both of us and from all of your teachers and from the entire Hebrew College community. So we decided we wanted to give you each your own mezuzah, which you'll be getting in the mail soon, to help make wherever you are a home, and specifically a home that connects your life to something larger, that links your home and your life to the life of the Jewish people and to Torah and to a sense of holiness and to your community of friends and teachers here at Hebrew College. The root meaning of mezuzah, as I think you all know, is the word lazuz, which means to move in Hebrew. And the name of the mezuzah itself speaks to the way in which movement is a part of our lives. It sits at the doorways of our homes, a fixed, steady and steadying presence, but it's there for moments of big transitions in our lives like this one, and in countless daily moments of departures and arrivals. So it really witnesses and blesses all of our comings and goings, and silently reminds us of what's constant in our lives amidst all the changes. Inside the mezuzah are the words of the Shema, and the Hasidic master, the Sfat Emet, reminds us that they're there to teach us that every moment is a doorway. If we listen to the possibilities for holiness and connection that are with us wherever we stand. So my blessing to you, Tzedchem leshalom uvoachem leshalom, may you go out in peace and may you return home in peace always. May you stand at every doorway of your lives, listening for the sacred possibilities that are inside of you and all around you. And may you always remember that you're not alone. Mazel tov.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Rabbi Sharon. We're going to turn it over now to the first of our student speeches. We are honored to get to hear first from Isabel Turetsky. So Isabel, take it away.
Okay, first, thank you, Rabbi Laura, Leah Goldstein, and to everyone at Hebrew College. Thank you for giving us this time for reflection. I was 6 when I started attending Hebrew school. I knew I loved Hanukkah and Challah on Shabbat, but other than that, I was oblivious. I had no clue that throughout the next 12 years, my experiences in Hebrew school in the greater Boston area would significantly mold me as a person. For some, Hebrew school is not a preferred extracurricular activity. However, from the start, I looked forward to Tuesdays and Sundays as I anticipated the excitement of making connections at Temple Emeth, my congregation. I've heard that many young Jews see Hebrew school solely as preparation for their bar or bat mitzvah. As soon as they read from the Torah and party the night away, their obligation is over. My early years in Hebrew school are some of my fondest memories, and I am so fortunate to have access to wonderful programs for older kids, such as Makor and now Prozdor, and I'm proud that I've completed them all. The last 5 years at Prozdor have particularly afforded me incredible learning and life opportunities. As a shy 9th grader, I sat in the classroom listening to my teacher talk about the possibility of attending a trip to Israel, not knowing that my mom had already signed me up. Although I was a bit nervous, there was also a sense of comfort traveling with my Prozdor classmates and experiencing the Bassin connection firsthand. It was on this trip that I developed a connection to Israel. We spent the week with students from the Reali High School, touring, learning, volunteering, and taking in all the wonders of Israel. Other fond memories of Prozdor include walking through the streets of downtown Boston as part of Daniel Palmer's Jews in Beantown class, debating in Norm Finkelstein's Jews in Politics, and of course, Rabbi E's Some Movies Are Good for the Soul. As I graduate from Prozdor, I know I will bring all of these experiences with me as I continue to grow my Jewish identity and look for opportunities to give back to this community. Thank you so much to all who made the past 5 years amazing and for all the excitement. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Noah. Oh my gosh, Isabel, I look at Noah's name. Thank you, Isabel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Marty, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to you if you would honor us with your words.
You hear me okay?
Mhm.
Okay, great.
But hold on, we have Mark spotlighted instead of Marty. Let's just, here we go. Great, we got you.
I'm spotlighted. Okay. Whoa. Those are 3 hard acts to follow, Rabbi Laura, Rabbi Sharon, and Isabel. Whoa, it's really special to be here today, and thank you. I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to speak. I know we would all rather be together, but it's special to be here on Zoom with so many familiar faces and friends and people I've known through my whole journey here at Hebrew College. I wanted to start actually, or I wanted to kind of share a story today about my Prozdor experience. After all, like Isabel, I've been in Prozdor for 5 years, and before that, Makor. A sentiment that I'd also share with Isabel is this story actually takes place in February 2018. Just to paint the picture a little bit, it was a Saturday night, Motzei Shabbat, and I was on a chartered bus going from Haifa back to Tel Aviv to fly home from Israel after what I would also agree was a life-changing trip and a life-changing adventure with Prozdor, and something I'm very grateful for. So we got on the bus. It was late at night. We were planning on taking a very, very early in the morning flight to back home to the U.S. and essentially spending the night in the airport until we could check in. And we got on the bus. We had all our staffs. We had come from our host families. And as we got on the bus, we sang. And I distinctly remember the different voices coming together on the bus, Jewish music and slow Shabbat songs after Havdalah, and just this amazing group of people from all different walks of life, all different schools, all different communities, all different Jewish denominations, coming together as one on that bus trip. And that mix of emotions, I assume anybody who's ever been to Israel or another special destination, as you leave, it's a whirlwind. And to be together in that moment was really, really special. I'd add just as a tidbit that that ride home proved quite eventful. After on the bus, we had a long debate using our Prozdor knowledge. I think I was voted down about saying Tfilat Haderech as we began our journey, and subsequently we ended up getting stuck in Canada for a day getting home. So there's a lesson to the wise. But in that moment, what we do in Prozdor really resonated with me. We were, all coming from different walks of life, all different backgrounds, but we were really all just Jewish teenagers learning together in a really special environment. And not only have all of the graduates here today learned together, but we've all brought our different experiences, interests, and angles together into this community. So for me, as being part of this community since Makor, as I said, has been really meaningful, and it's both special, but at the same time saddening to think today that this is the kind of conclusion of that long commitment to Jewish education and learning. And I know there's a lot more for me in the future. I just like to finish by saying I'm super grateful for the teachers and the staff, Rabbi Laura, Ben, who's also on here, Norm, and Rabbi E, and everybody else who has made this possible, and all of the rest of the Prozdor students who I've spent time learning with over the last long while, and especially to the rest of the class of 2020. Mazal Tov, congratulations on your impressive achievement during this difficult time, and for welcoming me into this fantastic community. And I look forward to seeing all of you safe and healthy in person when it's appropriate again in the future. So thank you, Rabbi Laura, and everybody.
Thank you so much, Marty. Let's give it up for him. Thank you so much for your words and reflections. And man, I wish I was on that Israel trip. I think Leah was. I think she got to be on many of them. And we had in our little opening slideshow a couple photos from the Israel trip that Isabel shared. And there are even more on the Facebook page. So we are going to actually transition now. This is our chance to honor each of you individually. We're gonna go through our list of graduates in alphabetical order by first name, since we figured Noah, Zaid, you're probably always last, and when we organized it by first name, you're still towards the end. Sorry about that. But we are so excited to get to be together, honoring each of you individually. And though we can't walk up to the front of the room together, we are gonna, when it's your turn, spotlight you so everyone can see you and share a few words about you. So I'm gonna turn it first over to Leah to talk about Adina Cross.
Hi, Adina. Speaking of that Israel trip, she was a lucky participant. I think it was your birthday when we were leaving and we got stuck in Canada. Thank you, Isabel and Marty, for talking about that trip and bringing it up. I have such fond memories. Adina, I adore you. I've known you for so many years. You have been an incredible participant in JTFGB. Your third year this year, being on Leadership Council, an incredible contribution, not just to your board, but to everyone in the program. You are kind, you are passionate, you're a true leader, and you've already made a difference in the world around you, and you are going to continue doing that next year at University of Vermont with all of your friends, Honors College. And Adina already knows she won this award, but for everyone else, she won the Reuben A. and Lizzie Grossman Award for Leadership and Service. So mazel tov. Next.
And I want to jump in real quick before we move on to Adina Smith and say that there is a function in your chat where you can send a message to all attendees and panelists. And this is a great time as we're honoring our graduates. If you have a blessing, a hope, a wish, a memory of different graduates as we're speaking about them, we invite you to type that into the chat, or even just a mazel tov. Okay, let's turn it over to Adina Smith and Leah. Thanks, Adina Cross.
Hi, Adina, another Adina who is also in JTFGB this year. I'm so happy to get to work with you on a more intimate level. You've been a part of, your family's been a part of Prozdor for quite a few years, and getting to know all of you has been so lovely. You are so committed and one of the first to volunteer for so many things. And you just have such a big, kind heart, and it's been wonderful to see you grow over the years, especially this year. And you're going to do so well at Connecticut College next year. And you are receiving the Prozdor Tikkun Olam Award, which I think is very well deserved. So mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Adina. Next up, we have Ariella.
Ariella Hatch Tuchman. I think you were on that Israel trip with us too, right? Oh, what a trip. You are so adventurous. You are always traveling the world. You've missed out on some classes at Prozdor because you've been traveling the world doing some really cool stuff, but you have stayed committed your entire time. You come back and you jump right back in, especially with Hebrew, which is so impressive. I couldn't do that. And next year you're doing a gap year, which is so fitting for you. But keep up your sense of adventure and enthusiasm and excitement for life. And we're so proud of you. And being in Israel with you was quite an adventure. And you are receiving the Prozdor Hebrew Language Award. So mazel tov for that.
Mazel tov, Ariella. Next up, we have Brian. Hi, Brian. I know we haven't gotten to spend that much time getting to know each other this year, but I was really struck by what you wrote when I asked for some reflections on your time at Prozdor. You wrote that I learned that there's a broader range of being Jewish than I grew up believing. I met so many different interesting people and made new friends along the way. And I want to say that it is so clear to me, even in the short time we've known each other, how you just brought your full self to Prozdor. Your commitment to both Jewish community, to friends, and to learning has shown through all these many years. So Brian, we're excited to hear what you're up to next year in your gap year. And really pleased to get to present you with the Bloomsack Award for dedication and for academic excellence. Mazel tov. Next up, we have Kobe. Kobe, there is so much to say. You are an inquisitive learner. You bring your full curiosity to the classroom. You are a leader in classroom discussions. You're compassionate. You're responsible. Kobe, it's been a true honor having you at Prozdor. And as your teachers reflected, yeah, you will truly be missed. We're excited to see where your learning takes you at Tufts University next year, and also excited that you won't be so far away. Come back and visit. And we are thrilled to get to present you with the Wendy R. Breslau Award for Social Responsibility, for caring for this world with your big heart. Thank you. Mazel tov. And next we have David Shamir Franzine. David, I love your backdrop here, whole family, so good. David, this is something that you can't always get at a graduation in person. It's really beautiful to see everyone's faces. David, you set the bar high, and you really are someone who, from what I've heard from your teachers and from what I've gotten to know of you, week after week, you show up, and you show up ready to learn. You said, when I asked for your reflections on Prozdor, you said that no matter how much you know about Judaism, there's always more to learn. You said, I have learned so much at Prozdor, and I hope to continue my Jewish education into the future. The reflections of your teachers were that you are introspective, insightful, and attentive. And we are so excited that you're heading to Clark next year to study biochemistry and languages. I wasn't surprised to see that you already have a vision set out for what you want to study. We are pleased to present you this morning with the Natalie and Dr. Ravine Levine Prize for Achievement in the Study of Jewish History, and for your pursuit, not only in the broader realm of Judaics, but also that this passion for learning should carry you far. Mazel tov.
Next up, we have Emmy Radin, and Lisa and Charlie. Emmy, I have known you for so many years. I think you were on that Israel trip as well. You are an incredible human being. You are so giving and caring between everything you do at Gateways and in high school and your third year in JTFGB. You're cool. I want to be you when you grow up. Is that possible? I can't believe you're going to my alma mater, University of Denver. That makes me so proud. I'm just so proud of everything you've accomplished these last several years. And you are receiving the Wendy R. Breslau Award for Social Responsibility, which is so well deserved. So mazel tov. And next we have Arras Tuchman. Hi, Arras. Another participant of that Israel trip, the infamous Israel trip. So that was quite a trip. I think we all grew up a lot on that trip, however many days it was, 7, 8, 10, I don't even remember. It was really great to see you grow up so much on that trip and so much since that trip has happened 2 years ago, it's been amazing to see you every Sunday, see how committed you are to learning and your Jewish education and Prozdor. We're all so incredibly proud of you and who you've become and what you've become, and you are going to do so amazing at Skidmore next year. And you are receiving the Parents League Award in honor of Edith and David Swartz for excellence in Judaic studies. Mazel tov, Arras.
Next up, I feel like I just like overwhelmed with a lot of joy right now. It's really wonderful. What a joy to get to be in this in a space of blessing you all. Next up, we have Ezra Gordon. Ezra, you wrote that after going to day school for several years, Prozdor was a fun and refreshing way of experiencing Judaism. It was entirely about learning for learning's sake and further connecting with the Jewish community around you. I want to say that spirit of Torah Lishma, of learning for learning's sake, is something that I see in you every time you come to Prozdor and sit with Morley and study Hebrew longer than you need to, and pursue your interests and your curiosities and your questions with such good nature, such passion, and such kindness. And I know that it will carry you far. We're excited that you're heading to MIT next year, and we'll also be nearby to come say hi. And we're really, really pleased. You already know this, really pleased once again to honor you with the second Reuben A. and Lizzie Grossman Award for leadership and for service. Thank you for the spirit and for the kindness that you bring to Prozdor every day, every week. Mazel tov. Next, we are going to honor Garrett Barth. Garrett, welcome. Welcome to the spotlight. Garrett, again, I feel like we haven't gotten to know each other that well, and yet this small amount that I've gotten to see and what I've heard from your teachers is so clear. Your teachers report just how you come to class with a growth mindset. You come as a positive team player, ready to learn, and always thinking about your community, your friends, the people around you first. I love that the Jewish quote that you chose was that I ask not for a lighter burden, but for broader shoulders. I feel like that really speaks to your desire to both support those around you and also to do that from a place of Jewish values and Jewish community. Garrett, we know you're heading to Binghamton next year. It's an awesome school, and we are excited to send you off there by honoring you with the award of the Phyllis and Clifford Turetsky Prize for Academic Excellence, for Attitude, and for all-around Menschlichkeit. So, Mazel Tov, and looking forward to having you come and visit next year as well.
All right, next we'd like to honor Elana Greenstein. There she is. Hi, Elana. Elana moved here, 2 or 3 years ago from Chicago, which I think is so brave to do in the middle of high school. So I think you deserve so much credit for that. You are so kind and intellectual and intelligent, and I've loved watching you grow, not only in Prozdor the last few years, but also in JTFGB. You are an incredible big sister, and caring and patient. And we are so excited to see what you accomplish next year at Washington University in St. Louis, a wonderful school. And we are presenting you with the Maurice J. Silver Award for Academic Excellence, which is very well deserved. So mazel tov. We would be honoring Isaac Stahl. He couldn't make it, so we're gonna jump to Isabel. Hi, Isabel. Nothing left to say. You said it all. You've been an incredible contribution to this community since you started at Makor. Every Sunday when we see you, you just have the biggest smile on your face. You were so excited to tell me where you got into college or when you got into college. And you are just one of the most optimistic and sweetest people ever. And speaking of college, we can't wait to see how everything goes at Bryn Mawr. I've never been able to say that, so just excuse me, everyone. But you're going to do so well. And you are receiving the Prozdor Senior Award, which is fantastic. So we're really proud of you. Mazel tov.
And next up is Mark Weitzman. Mark, you were actually one of the first people this year who I got to know a little bit because you're always here, you're here on time, you came ready to learn. And one of the things you said that really resonated in reflecting on your time at Prozdor, you said that Prozdor has been a transformative experience for me. I want to say that you have helped transform Prozdor. You've really been here for many years and helped to shape who we are with your questions, with your quiet presence, with your collaboration. We're so glad that you're able to continue your learning all the way through middle school and all the way through high school, and hope that you'll be able to continue that far into the future, both at Mizzou next year and also in your life beyond. Mark, in honor of your presence, your dedication, your commitment to learning, and to your accomplishment of all these years, we're honoring you with the Prozdor Senior Award for great accomplishment and outstanding service to the Prozdor community. Mazel tov. Marty Sulloway, you are up next. Marty, I found a picture of you in like 6th grade when it was my first year teaching at Makor. But you look like you're busy with a project, so I figured I wouldn't show it on the screen. You have matured, and it is such a pleasure to get to be back in the same Hebrew college learning space with you. One of the things that comes to mind when we were talking to your teachers and reflecting on all that you bring to Prozdor was that you come with a smile. You're really a natural mensch. You know how to bring humor and kindness to even tough situations, both in your own life and in the lives of the people around you. You help lighten the room. You care so deeply about doing good in the world and about the people around you and how they're doing. And that is something that, from the singing on the bus in Israel to greeting people with such warmth in the halls at Prozdor, we're really grateful that you've been a part of our community and will continue to be not so far away at Northeastern studying engineering. We're pleased to honor you with the Phyllis and Clifford Turetsky Prize for Academic Excellence, Attitude, and Menschlichkeit, all around Menschlichkeit. Mazel tov.
Okay, next we have Noah Zaid. Hi, Noah. Noah, you have really made a commitment to this program, coming from Randolph every week for several years. You've been on a few Israel trips, and I think every service trip we've done in the last several years. You are so kind and funny and sweet, and it makes me so happy when you stop by my desk when we were at the college, stop by my desk every Sunday and just tell me what's going on with your life. You're really great person, and you're going to do so well at University of New Haven, not just because your sister's there, but we're really proud of you, and we're proud to present you with the Bassin Murray Kesselman Award for contributing time and energy to improve the quality of life at Prozdor. I think that's pretty fitting. Mazel tov, Noah.
So our final Prozdor senior is Noah Bassin, who is actually, as we speak, competing in a state championship. So he couldn't be here at this moment, but he's really sad to be missing it. And we're excited that he's heading to WashU next year and will be receiving the Prozdor Tikkun Olam Award. So for all of our seniors and for all of the many parents, siblings, family members, grandparents, and teachers who have supported them through all these years, we want to wish you a big mazel tov. Yay! Let's give it up for our seniors. Thank you to all who are writing into the chat messages of blessing and mazel tovs for our graduates as well. So in just a minute, we are going to turn it over to Ezra. But before we do that, we actually have a very important threshold to cross, which is that though we don't have a diploma to give you right now, you'll be receiving it in the mail this summer. And before that, you'll be receiving your mezuzot. And this is the moment where it is my deep privilege and honor to say that Prozdor, class of 2020, 5780, you are now graduates. So mazel tov to all of you. You have made it through this long haul. You have woken up many a Sunday morning, either with help or on your own, and driven from all over the region to be with us in person or jumped online on Zoom. Thank you for your flexibility, your resilience, your commitment, and for all that you have done to help shape Prozdor into what it is today. Know that this is, as I said before, not just celebrating the end of one thing, but really is moving into the beginning of all that is to come. It is with great joy that we celebrate you as part of our over 5,000 graduates. And as you know, as we've talked about some at Prozdor, we're building on our successes. We'll be working hard, even in your absence, to grow and sustain Prozdor and JTFGB, to build on our partnership with the Reali School in Haifa and the teen learning programs as a whole at Hebrew College for years to come. And you, our graduates, and our current students as well, are really our best ambassadors and advocates. We look forward to welcoming your younger siblings and friends and to following your journeys and successes and celebrations over the years to come. As you probably know by now, Prozdor opened its doors at Hebrew College in 1923, almost 100 years ago, and they will always be open to you. So come back and say hi and take all that you have learned with you. So with that, mazel tov again. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ezra to share with us a longstanding Prozdor tradition of having one of our speeches be in Hebrew. And we're going to be posting the English of that in the chat for all to see.
Shalom לכולם, אני שמח לראות את כולם הבוקר הזה. אני גם שמח היום בטקס הסיום לשתף אתכם בחוויות שחוויתי בשיעורי עברית בפרוזדור. בכיתה ז' עברתי מבית ספר יהודי לבית ספר ציבורי, ולכן לא יכולתי יותר ללמוד עברית בשיעורים רגילים בבית הספר. למרות זאת, רציתי להמשיך את לימודי העברית שלי כדי להמשיך את הקשר ביני ובין הקהילה היהודית בבוסטון. לכן התחלתי ללמוד בפרוזדור. אהבתי את השיעורים האחרים שלי, אבל תמיד שיעורי עברית היה הדבר הכי חשוב והכי אהוב לי. לא רק למדתי את הדקדוק, המורים שלי פתחו בפני את התרבות הישראלית, לימוד על חדשות עולמיות והכרת הגוונים השונים של קהילה היהודית דרך ספרות, מאמרים בעיתונים, חדשות, סרטים ושירים. בזכות הלימודים שלי בפרוזדור יכולתי ליצור קשר עם ישראלים ויהודים בתוכנית קיץ שנקרא מימונידי שהשתתפתי בה, וגם בעבודת הקיץ שלי במעבדה בבית חולים. למרות שהייתי עייף בימי ראשון בבוקר, בכל זאת אהבתי לקום, לנסוע מסומרוויל לפרוזדור וללמוד עברית. בעקבות המגפה בחודשיים האחרים, לא הפסקנו ללמוד והמשכנו בלימוד מקוון מהבית. אני מקווה שהאח שלי וכל חבריו בתוכנית מקור גם יוכלו ללמוד עברית בפרוזדור כמוני. אני רוצה להודות לכל המורים שלימדו אותי בפרוזדור ולכל צוות ההנהלה שתמיד הייתם כאן בשבילנו כל יום ראשון. אני רוצה לאחל לכם, חברי ללימודים, מזל טוב ובהצלחה בהמשך דרככם. תודה.
תודה רבה, עזרא. And Mitsuyan, kol hakavod. So we have the full English text of that we'll be sharing. Thank you so much, Ezra, for all your work and also for those reflections. And thank you to Morley, who has gotten to be your teacher this whole year and working together. So we are about to transition a little bit. We know that not only are our students at the heart of Prozdor, but so are our teachers. We know that though we can't see all of our teachers' faces right now, we have a special opportunity at this year's graduation to highlight a few of them, a couple of them, Esther Shore and Daniel Parmer, who have been with us for many years and are retiring and moving on to other things. So we are excited to, bring Daniel Parmer and Esther on as panelists so we can see them. Great, we've got Daniel, and it looks like Esther is coming to join us soon. Oh, Daniel has a sign, Mazel Tov, Prozdor 2020. Wonderful. And Esther is with us as well. So I want to say, for those who don't know, we have faculty at Prozdor who were students at Prozdor, like Norm Finkelstein and many others actually who have taught over the years at Prozdor and at Makor, who started off as students here through Hebrew College in many different manifestations. So let this be your first invitation, graduates of 2020, to come back and join us on faculty in the future. Keep going in your Jewish learning and come back and help us teach the next generation of Jewish leaders. So with that, I'm going to actually turn it over to, we're going to spotlight Daniel. I'm going to turn it over first to Ben and then to Kobe to say a couple of words of appreciation for Daniel.
Good morning and Mazel Tov to all of our graduates this morning. 8 years ago, back in the dark ages before social distancing and holding classes via Zoom, I arrived at Hebrew College for my first day as a teacher at Prozdor. I remember walking down the hallway before my first class started, and I saw none other than Dan Parmer, Prozdor teacher extraordinaire, trademark cap on his head, smile on his face. Up until then, he had been a friendly face in shul along with his wife Jody and their children. I said, Dan, what are you doing here? Do you teach here? He replied, yeah, I do. Are you teaching here now? I responded in the affirmative, and he said, you're going to love it. Every Sunday is an adventure. We're glad to have you. Let me know if I can help with anything. His positive energy that day and the ones that followed always helped set the tone for my day, and he was indeed prescient in his words. Every Sunday, without fail, was indeed an adventure. Dan has given his Sunday mornings to Prozdor for 10 years and has conveyed his love for all things Jewish, numbers, and Jewish numbers-based to his students. Whether they are learning about the oft-mentioned Pew Report of a few years ago in his How to Count Jews class, or learning the rich history of the Jews of Boston and Jews of Beantown, I've seen firsthand how excited and interested Dan can get them. I, for one, am not a numbers person, but I'm sure that my interest would grow if I had Dan Parmer teaching me statistics about Am Yisrael that made me consider our community in a new light. I made it a habit in years past to ask my students before we started our own class what was happening in Parmer's class. They all inevitably seemed to be in at least one of them, if not seven. And they always answered with positivity and enthusiasm. To be a student in a Dan Parmer class is to, as the rabbis say in Pirkei Avot, kick up dust at the feet of the sages and drink in their words with thirst. Dan, you have certainly left your mark on the Prozdor community, and I have been privileged to know you as a friend. I wish you all the best in your journey. You will be missed here on our hill at the top of Herrick Road. May you continue to go from strength to strength.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you so much, Ben. And we're going to turn it over to Kobe, who wanted to share a few words as well.
Can you guys hear me? Awesome. Okay, so 2 months ago, I ran into Dan at the airport. So my family was heading to Italy. The Palmers were heading to Spain. Oh, I'm sorry. For those of you who don't know, an airport is where you get to travel to other countries, and it's a lot of fun. So, okay, so we bumped into the Palmers, and I said, hey, and Dan said, hey, and my parents say, hey, who was that? And I got to tell them. I told them that Dan was a fantastic teacher and one of the kindest, most genuine people I know. And I remember signing up for a course on Jewish superheroes, and my mom asked, since when do you like comic books? And I said, I don't, but Dan Palmer is teaching it, and it has the coolest title. For those of you who don't know, Dan's courses all have amazing titles, such as Bam Pow, Holy Hebrews, Batman, or Reform, Orthodox, Conservative, oh my. I especially love the exclamation point because it's so telling of the passion and energy Dan puts into his teaching. He's just one of these teachers that makes you want to keep learning, keep exploring Judaism, whether it's a battle over Jewish summer camps, the opportunity to create your own comic, or a tour of Jewish Boston. Shout out to Mike's Pastries. Dan's classes raise the bar for Jewish education. And at any other institution, Dan Palmer would stand out. But at Prozdor, he fits right in. Rabbi E once asked our Bayit why we continue to make a commitment to Prozdor long after it was required of us. And to me, there's an obvious answer. Oh, wait, sorry. To me, there's an obvious answer, the teachers. Thank you so much for bringing our religion to life, for giving us new perspectives through which to view our world and ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for all that you've given to Prozdor over these last 10 years. You will be missed, and we look forward to finding ways to keep you involved. and many blessings on your next adventures. We are going to turn it over now to Spotlight Esther Shore. Esther, before I hand the mic over to Morley to speak about you, I just want to say that when I came to Prozdor this year, one of the things I was very excited about was getting to work together. You were one of my first Hebrew teachers. I also know that you were Dan Brosgall's Hebrew teacher, and you have taught many generations of Prozdor students from beginner to advanced through your creativity, song, and dedication. So I just wanted to say first a little thank you for all your time and a wonderful time in retirement / doing everything that you do by your next adventures. So Morley, over to you. Oh, go ahead, and hold on.
Yeah.
Now you're on mute.
Yeah. Boker Tov, good morning, everyone. Mazal Tov to class 2020 and your families. It is a pleasure to speak here today to Prozdor community at this special graduation ceremony. Today we are saying goodbye to our student, but also to a wonderful teacher among us. Esther has been our longest tenured Hebrew professor here at Prozdor ever. She is a dedicated teacher and always focused on her student needs. She takes every lesson to think profoundly and to consider how to teach material in the best way. In her classes, she authentically uses Israeli and Jewish cultural material and pushes every student to challenge themselves to grow and become more resilient. She never gives up and always thinks about building a relationship with students, especially when we see the students only once a week. In addition to Prozdor, Esther also teaches Hebrew at Brandeis University and Middlebury College. As many of us know, Esther believes in all her heart that teaching in Prozdor is being a mission. It is work of the heart. Once I remember when we were talking to a few Hebrew teachers, we discussed how important it is to teach the language, the Hebrew language, and the Jewish and Israeli culture to Jewish teens, especially in Prozdor. and to open for them a window for their heritage. I remember that Esther was so passionate and authentic, which moved me greatly. Esther, you are an incredible educator, and I'm so moved. I collected this description from your peers. Esther has a very warm personality. She is always delightful, willing to help, a wonderful colleague, incredibly open to conversation. She loves to find the good in everything. Esther is easy to talk to, has always good things to say about others, which is mefargenet in Hebrew. Esther is inspiring and is a superb and professional teacher, and in Hebrew, Mora Mishichma Umala. Today, we are honoring your dedication and important work for the Prozdor program. We say to you, thank you very much. Toda Rabba. You raise many students with the love of the Hebrew language and Jewish and Israeli culture. We are sad that you have decided to retire and happy for you to enjoy your Sundays with your own larger family and on your own. We will miss you on your team next year, on our team next year. So please come visit. We wish you all the best and kol tov. Toda.
Thank you so much, Morley, and of course, thank you, Esther. We have so many other teachers we could honor, and so many other people that we could easily spend all afternoon thanking that make Prozdor happen, from the folks behind the scenes in our marketing department to people who help figure out financial aid, to our team right here in our teen learning department that helps everything happen week to week and day to day. I want to give just a couple of shout outs and say a big thank you to Leah Goldstein. You've been Prozdor's associate director, and all the way from, you've been with Prozdor for many years, ever since I started as a teacher, and hold much of our institutional memory. Thank you for being my partner in crime this year and for helping so much run smoothly. I also want to give a big shout out and thank you to Morley Hartman, our coordinator of our Hebrew program. Morley helps bring together all of our Israeli Hebrew educators who run both the Hebrew program in Makor as well as in Prozdor, and does it with grace and with enthusiasm and with a lot of reflection and thoughtfulness of how we can constantly be improving. Thank you, Morley. And Ben Einseidler. Let's give it up for Ben. Ben has been our Makor coordinator this year. Ben, you have gone from a teacher at Prozdor to a rabbinical student at Hebrew College. And this year you took on the reins, helping us manage all of our attendance, all of our students, much of our communications, and did it also with grace. Ben, thank you for your good-natured and flexible ways, and for just showing up each week with such calm. I also want to give a shout out. I'm not going to go through and name everyone right now because done some of that separately, and also because I really want to give the honor of honoring each person. So I'll just say that our Makor teachers are a combination of Hebrew College and Temple Emmanuel staff, and it's been a true blessing this year, specifically because Makor is going through a transition, and we're saying goodbye to Makor this year and strengthening all of our teen learning at Hebrew College. To say a big thank you to all of our Makor teachers for all of their time and dedication and love over these last 10 years. So let's please, especially seniors who started in Makor, give it up for them. We look forward to having many Makorniks join us in Prozdor in the future. And of course to our Prozdor staff who are there in and out, who jumped online after, for some of them, I believe Norm told me that this was, yeah, the Walkman was the latest in technology and that Zoom would be a stretch. And we are so grateful for both your flexibility, your good humor, and your dedication through all this time and perseverance. So thank you to our Prozdor teachers, and we look forward to being together for some classes over the summer and again in the fall. So with that, one last time, we are going to say a mazel tov to our graduates, and I'm going to turn this back over to a tile view, because we're going to try something out that we can't easily do in person. We're going to try doing a group hug. So if everyone who is on screen, Leah, you are a screenshot master. So everyone who is on screen, we're going to try this out. What was that?
It was a note to remind me to take screenshots.
Great. So we're going to go ahead and just imagine for a moment, and this involves all of our attendees as well. So graduates, if you would just imagine for a moment, just kind of hold out your hands, just like this, just so we can kind of see them in the screen. Great. And everyone who's an attendee right now, we can see your names. We can't see your faces. Everyone who's an attendee, go ahead and just send some blessings, send some love, some good wishes, some blessings to our graduates as they set off on their journeys. And now graduates, and actually everyone who's visible on the screen, I'm going to ask you to go ahead, stretch out your arms to the sides. and this is and imagine we're just doing like one big giant Zoom hug. Okay, and you can bring it back in. So with that, a big mazel tov to everyone. Again, please stay in touch. Tell the world about Prozdor. Come back and teach for us. And we wish you a really safe and healthy summer and a wonderful year ahead. So mazel tov. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it for a closing, to close us out, back over to Ben Einseidler to just close us with the nigun again. And then I want to say, folks are welcome to leave. Everyone who's a panelist, all of our seniors are welcome to unmute themselves and chat and schmooze and hang out some if you'd like.